Okay, here we have some stamps from the Philippines. This one right here seems to be a very interesting one. Look at that. It's 2 4/8. That's like saying 2.5, but instead they wrote 2 4/8. See, the peso. That one's the most interesting one that I have in this video. Very interesting. Different for sure. Alright, let me take you through the rest of them. We have right here, this one's a 4, horse in battle. And this one here, faith, world, and Congress. What's the difference? It's a 6-cent stamp. International. Nice globe with a whirl on it. From the Philippines. And we have this one here. The swearing in. Very nice. Okay, and then we go down this one here. This one's a 12. Showing you the bridge and the architect building there. And this one here is a 2. Commonwealth of the Philippine postage stamp. Then of course the interesting one that we've seen at the very beginning. 2 4/8 C. The peso. Look at that. So interesting. Each corner is hooked up like a link. Okay. Then we have an O.B.10 postage stamp from the Philippines. And here we have like a monument, and this one's a 4. And we go down here to a 2, Commonwealth, from the Philippine Islands, United States of America, Philippine Islands, a 2. And here we have a 1, manual. And this one, look at this one. This one's a 5-cent. Isn't this beautiful? This is 1953 right there on the stamp. Very nicely designed. Look at that. The architect of doing that, you know, is very creative. Very nice. Beautiful stamp. Okay, and we have this one, 5 cents. Golden Jubilee. Okay, then we have a 2-cent. Commonwealth of the Philippines, United States of America postage. It's almost, it has the United States, and then it's like it went up a beat of America. So that's different. It's like it went up a little bit of a line. So it's not straight on the whole line. So I don't know if that makes a difference. On the value of the stamp, I would think it does, because it's actually an error in the printing. So those of you who are stamp collectors and stuff, take notice to that. Little error on the postage stamp. Okay, then we come down to this one here, a 10 from the Philippines. And here we have a 20, Lapu. Then we have a 3 cents. Postage written in the corner. And then right here we have a 1. Well, it says 5, but it's printed on it 1. But it's actually a 5 in the corners. Okay, so 2 interesting ones. This one here, because of how it's skipped up on the writing, of United States, of America. Of America is up higher. And then, of course, this one here that I found to be very, very interesting. All right. So be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and I'll bring you some more old, rare, and vintage postage stamps. Bye-bye now. Here we have some Nowdy stamps. If you notice this one here, actually is stamped 1905. Look at that. So that gives you a little bit of the time frame of when these stamps were done. Look at that, it's perfectly centered. Good condition. As most of these, some of these have not even been used yet. So, but I found this one to be interesting because of the red that's written all around it. So it must have been something special about this one. If you know anything about it, please leave a comment. But I found this to be an interesting one out of this batch. Okay, so let me take you through the rest of them. Okay, starting with this one here. A5 Nowdy stamp. Okay, now this guy here comes in many different colors. This one's a 5. This one's a 2. Here we have a 20. We have a 50. And another 2. Okay, then we go down to this one here. Now this one also comes in many different colors. Here he is with a 50. Beautiful. Look at all the little details in this stamp, you know, in creating this stamp. Here we have a 20. Then we have a 2. There's some extra writing on that one, so that must have meant something too. And if you know, be sure to let me know. Let's see how nicely they are. This one here was pretty well perfect centered. The 2. Here we have the 15. And the 1. Now this guy here, he has some different stamps too. Here's a 50. And the one I started with to show you that it says 1905 on this 2 Nowdy stamp. Here's a 25. And here's a 1. Okay, and then we had a few extras of these here. the 1, another 1, and a 15. Okay, so the interesting one is this one right here. So if you know anything about it, be sure to leave a comment and share with the rest of us. I'm sure everyone else who's watching this video will also appreciate that. So stay tuned for more, and we'll bring you some more videos. Be sure to sub me now too. Bye-bye now. Okay, today we're going to do videos on Lebanese vintage postage stamps. So let's start right from the very top. Here we have a 15. It says Liban. That beautiful design on both sides and everything. Here we have a 50p. Looks kind of cool there. Then we have a 10p. Look at that nice mountainside, and gives you an idea of what some of the scenery for that country is. You know, it's all about history. This is a 0.P10, which is really kind of cool. Here we have Libya, a 50-cent one. That's cool. Look at that. Really nice. Okay. Here we have a 0 to 5, and then on the other side 1/2. That's like looking down on the whole village there. Isn't that cool? That is neat. Really nice one there. And blue here we have a 0P.50. That turn around and shows you nice architect there, which is always nice to see. Love the architectural ones. Alright, and right there again looking at the whole village kind of. Ah, it looks like the other one, doesn't it? Okay, got a repeat in there. Alright, here's a 2, Mountain View. Grand Liban. Okay, and then here we have a 050. Nice green. Looks good in green, huh? We have a 1P in pink. Look at those pillars, huh? Nice to see that on stamps. That's history being preserved right there. Okay, that's 0P-25. A smaller version. I don't like the bigger one. So that must have come after. Okay, 0P50. Beautiful pink tree there. And here we have a plane kind of driving right over the village. And this Lebanese picture. Very nicely done stamp. Oh, and look at this one. That is really different. 25. It's a bird hitting the water. Wow, look at that. Isn't that a beautiful one? Look at the wingspan on that. Unreal. That's beautiful. Very nice picture. I like that one. Some history behind that one for sure, I know. Has to be. It's too beautiful. Okay, and there's a 0P.20. So I think the one I really like and appreciate the most out of this one is this group, this stamp here. Very nice. I'll be really interested in the story. If you know about any of these vintage stamps and stuff, especially the story behind this one, please share it with the rest of us. We'd really appreciate hearing why this stamp was made and the story behind it. Alright, be sure to join me as a friend as we bring you some more vintage postage stamps from around the world. Bye-bye now. Today we're going to show you a mixture of different stamps. Now a few that I found rather interesting in this batch is this one right here. Look at the paper behind it before it got printed. It just seems strange to have stamp printed on paper like that. So I found that very, very interesting. Hope you did too. It's at 25 cents. Well, 25 something. New Zealand. Isn't that interesting? And the other one I found interesting was this one here. A Magyar. Just seems so nice to see, you know, the bird flying over. Okay, so let's show you all of them. Here's a 2-cent one, 1898 to 1923. Beautiful. And we have this one here, 1 penny postage. And this one here, with the postal stamp on it. It's a little hard to turn around and see, but for those of you who are collectors and know what you're looking for, there's a half-penny one. And this one here is a 3. These are all variety of different ones from different countries. You see this stamp is perfectly centered, but it is used, so. And this one here has seen its better days. That's a 4.5. Rather rough in look. Very delicate. Okay, then Ned Indy, 1. It's a pretty one. Then right here we have a 1 penny. She's in purple. Then one that we showed you at the very beginning here, a Magyar. And we have this one here, it's a 1C, Belgian. And this one here, it's a 5 cents, Roman Villa. Interesting, isn't it? The way the eyes are and everything, the way the ear is. A very interesting, creative stamp. Okay, then here we have a $1 one. Very serious person. Czechoslovak. Whoops, and this next one I can see on the camera is upside down. Let's turn that one around. Looks better that way, right? Alright, it's a 3. That's a nice one. Nice little stallion in there. And of course the one at the very beginning that I found interesting to be on this paper design instead of just a plain colored backing paper, so that he could stand out. He's on a different type of paper. Don't understand why, but if you know anything about that, know the reason why it's on such a paper, please leave a comment. I would appreciate it, and I'm sure everyone else who's viewing this would also appreciate and try to understand why. You know, we always want to know why. A lot of whys in this business here. Okay, and here we have a 2C. Interesting one. Can't really make out what it is. Okay, and then we have a 75. 2 candles on each side. Very nice stamp. Mother and child. Okay, and we go down to this one, and 1. Nicely designed, huh? Beautiful framing around his picture. Really nice. And here we have a 2P. Look at this. Look at all the small little designs in it to make it a perfect stamp. Definitely a story behind that, so if you know the story, share it with us. Sometimes you always wonder, why did that end up on a stamp? So if you know, those are some of the whys people ask all the time when they see stamps like this. Oh, look at this one. 1/2 C with the sun over the horizon. He's going to work in the fields. Very nice stamp. Okay, and there's a Belgian one. 2. Let's see, 1912 to 1918. All right. And this one here. It's a 25 or. Okay, so the most interesting one is this one right here. So if you know anything, please share. If you don't, share the video with someone that may know. Just so we can all have an answer as to why. Alright, be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more rare and vintage postage stamp. Bye-bye now. Today we have Canadian stamps. If you look at this one, it says 1939. It's a 3-cent stamp. Isn't that beautiful? Very nice stamp. 1939. Okay, let's take you through all of them. Starting with the little 3-cent stamp. And we go here. 1955. Connecting the two worlds. 5-cent stamp. And we have another 5-cent stamp. 1813 to 1963. You can see the image of a train locomotion going in the back. Nice one. Okay, this one here, Monument, Canada, 10-cent stamp. And then here we have a 5-cent stamp. She's just sitting there posing. Front view with a side face view. Okay, and then here we have a tanker, 14-cent Canada stamp. Beautiful. Look at the leaves on the side as part of the frame of the stamp. Very nicely designed one. Okay, and of course the one we showed at the very beginning, the 1939 3-cent stamp. Okay, and here we go, 7-cent stamp. Just a duck a-flying. Look at the wingspan on that, that's beautiful. Nice one. Okay, then we have a 2-cent stamp. 2 leaves on each side, look at that, isn't that cool? Alright, then we go, oh, this one's a very Canada with all the people. Can you imagine what it was like to design this 2-cent stamp? Look at all the people in it. It's gotta be 20-something people. Beautiful architect of the building behind for his scenery. Okay, then we have a 4-cent stamp. And here we have a 2-cent stamp. And a 4-cent stamp. And this one's here is a 7 cents air. Cents, air, cents. 7. You can see the plane there and the pilot. They're looking at the direction on the paper where they're going. Definitely an old stamp. A little rough there. A little corner missing and everything, but a very nice stamp. Okay, and then we go to the 1-cent stamp. A 2-cent stamp. Wow, look at the crown on her. Very nice. She's in pink here. And over here we have her in green. And we have a 1-cent stamp. Kind of gave him an extra collar there. And here we have another 1-cent stamp. And this one here, a 2-cent stamp. Now you already know that the most creative, beautiful one in this video and stuff, I believe, is this one. It's my personal opinion. I really like this stamp. So if you know about some of these stamps, please leave a comment. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and as always, share some of these videos with others who like to just go through some of the old Canadian stamps or are collectors of them, because collecting stamps is starting to be a very good investment for the future. You know, it's not like the stock market that goes up and down. These old stamps only go up in value. Alright, bye-bye now. Okay, here we are bringing you some different stamps. There's no way I can pronounce what they are, so I'll just start by bringing them right to you. Okay, here we have a 25. Very nicely designed. Then we have a 2 in burgundy. Then we have a 2D. And we have a 20p. So some of you may be able to read what's written on some of these. And if you know the language and know where these postage stamps come from, be sure to leave a comment and let me know. Here's a 3D. Then we have a 25. They're very nice. I like how they do the borders on both sides of the stamp. And here we have a 10. Beautifully designed. And this one here is a little bit different than the other ones. It's a 45. Here we have a 15. This one is a, what, 4? 4 something. 4D? Not quite sure. Post office kind of stamped right on there to stop me from seeing that. Here's a 10D. We have a 1D right here. Here we have a 20D. Just 20, no D. Just a 20. Here is a 60. Very nice. I like the designs on both sides. Here we have a 25. And we have a 50. And we have a 5. A 2. And this one I believe looks like a 20. And a 75. And a 2D. Ah, that's what the other one was. It's like 2A, and then on the right hand side it says 2D. Different, for sure. Alright. So if you know where these come from, you know something more about it than I do, of course, be sure to leave a comment. Share with the rest of us. If you know of other collectors who enjoy looking through the old vintage stamps and maybe have a few missing from their collection, be sure to share this video with them. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. Bye-bye now. Here we are today, bringing you some variety of postage stamps, of vintage postage stamps. Some from all over the place. So this is kind of like a variety video. So let's get showing you what we have. This one's a Belgian. It's almost like, okay, that's the right way, and then you can turn it around and trying to figure out which way is this really supposed to go. Because it's written one way, and then if you look at it towards the bottom, it's kind of like upside down. So have to look at this one all different ways. But different, that's for sure. Okay, here is the Victoria. It says stamp duty. 1 penny. Stamp duty. I don't remember seeing that on some of the other ones. So if you know why that one says stamp duty, does that make it more valuable? Is it a different time? Be sure to leave a comment and let me know. And we have that same picture right here, and it also says stamp duty, but kind of in a rough kind of condition. Kind of a brownish kind of burgundy. So here you have two of them. Stamp duty. Okay, then we have this one here. It's one, it's like PYC. Very different looking kind of stamp. Unique in its own ways. Definitely looks different. Almost look like it's stamped on cloth. Okay, then this guy, I don't know why he's in this color. I've seen him in different colors and everything. He's, I don't know, 3 pennies. He's just kind of like in a orange, brownish orange color, which makes it really different. So I kind of wonder how many of these were issued, because he's very different. Okay, and then we have this one, 8 cents. Look at that. Very pretty. Look at the design of that. Okay, then the one we started with, Posca, 20. Look at that. Must be a nice monument they have over there, because it's pretty. Here's 25 here. Very nice. Look at that. It's like the point of the arrows are in each corner and going around. It's a Magyar stamp. Very, very different looking, isn't it? I think it is. I have not come across another one like that. Okay, and here we have another stamp here. Very distinguished looking fella. 20. So if you know something about some of these, hey, leave a comment. Share with the rest of us. Oops, I think I had one more here. That one. 15. The front says 1. Lady with a feather in her hat. Okay, then we have this one here. Very nice. I love the design of some of these. What they have around the borders and everything to kind of like frame the picture that they're presenting. Look at this one. Wow. It's like the whole horse wagon and buggy went right in the water. Barbados, 1/2 D. Look at that. What a beautiful design. I mean, this, you know, this is a perfectly scented one. It is used, and, you know, scented stamps is what people collect and stuff in good condition. Starting to be a good investment and stuff, because it's not like the market that goes up and down. The value of postage stamp, vintage ones, are only going up all the time. So people are starting to use that as an investment, because you can collect it a little at a time. And the value goes up all the time. So look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Love that picture. Okay, and then we have this one here. Very old vintage stamp. And this one, wow, look at this one. Very beautiful. Look at the design of that. Universal postage. Zillion. New Zealand postage stamp. Very pretty. Okay, and then we have this one here. Looks like a nice castle in the frame, huh? España. And we got this little purple one here. It's a 1 penny. Another New Zealand 1p. And we have this one, Czechoslovakia. It's a 5. Look at the picture of that. Okay, and then this one here, a 1c. Another Magyar, a 1. Okay, so I think the most interesting one, is this one here in this video. So if you know of other stamp collectors, be sure to share with them. Let them see what there is. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you think about investing in your future by old stamp collections. Alright, bye-bye now. Today we're going to show you some vintage stamps from Australia. Isn't these a pretty one, these two? Very nice. Really like that green one, the 3.5. It says 1855 to 1955. Very nice one. Alright, let's start at the very beginning. Here's the first one we have. 1.5. Very nice. 3.5D, Australia postage. 2.5D. It's got like a paper rolled up in front of them. 2.5D. There's a 5C. Come all ye faithful. Ah, it was a Christmas one. Okay, 2.5D here. And this one here is a 2D. Nice tree on the side there in purple. Here we have 1.5D postage. Look how nicely centered that is. That's what you want to look for in vintage postage stamps. This one's used. Unused is always better. Good condition. The better the condition, the more the value. These are all things you look if you're starting a collection. Things you look for. Also check the gluing behind for age, because that gives you an idea of what time in history the stamp was done. Here's a 1.5. Look how beautiful that is. The flowers up there in the corner and everything. Nicely designed one. Okay, 3.5D. There's a 5C. This is just plain and simple. Here we have a 2.5D. 1867 to 1922. is a 2.5D. John Forrest, 1847 to I think 1911. I can't quite make that out. Or 19 something. 1918. Okay, and a 1D. Beautifully designed. And the one we started with, the 3.5D, 1855 to 1955. And this was a 27-cent one. Well, 27 cents with 5 cent. It's a stamp on a stamp, I guess. I don't know. It's a 5-cent stamp. I don't know why 27's on the side, especially where it has the cutting. Has the cutting, so you could probably just cut right there and it's a 5-cent stamp. Don't know why this says 27. If you were to put it in a whole stamp, you wouldn't have this cutting in the middle. So that's something to think about. So if you know anything about that, why that's like that, be sure to leave a comment. Definitely be interesting to see and to find out. It's one of those whys, you know. Why is that 27 cents, but yet the cutting is there? Makes you wonder, is the stamp 5 cents or is the stamp 27 cents? Is the whole thing a stamp or the extra is just an extra? Alright, the questions, the whys. Alright, and then we have a 10. And they got into the colors, huh? And then we have a 43. Alright. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing some of these to you. Gotta find out about this one here. So if you know anything, leave a comment. I'll appreciate it, and so will everybody else who watches this video. Just want to know the history behind this. Alright. Bye-bye now. Today we're going to show you some Suomi Finland vintage postage stamps. And this one is very pretty. I like this one. This one's nice. So let's start at the beginning and show you all of them. Here is a 10M. Just showing you a little bit of the scenery of the land. And this one here. Axing down a tree. This is a 25M. Very nice. Sometimes you wonder when you look at them, you know, and you see them working like that, what's the idea behind them being on a stamp? So, if you know the answer to that, go ahead and leave a comment. It's always nice to find out the story behind a stamp, because they all have a reason why they became a stamp. So knowledge is always nice. If you have that knowledge, share with the rest of us so we can gain that knowledge. Okay, then the one that I liked at the very beginning, the 5M. Then here we have 50. Showing you the manufacturing plant here from the country. Very nice. Okay, and then we have a whole bunch of these. Here we have a 10. We have a 1M. We have a 20. These are all from Finland. A 2M. It's 60 in purple. Pretty. A 25. A 2. There's another 2. Now you're getting in a different design. Still Finland. Still Suomi. is a 2. 2 pen. There's this one here. It's a 20. Look how nice this design. Here we have a 1.5 M. Suomi, Finland stamp. Here we have a 15. This one's a little bit different in design. Look at that. It's also a thinner kind of paper. If you look at that, you can see it's kind of ragged on the edges and stuff instead of a good cut. So that tells you a little bit about the age of the stamp. Isn't that something? What an interesting stamp. Okay, here we have a 5. We have a 10. I wonder if that 5, I don't think that 5 belongs in this batch. There's a 10. Here's a 25. A 20. A 10. Look at this one, 25. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the design in that and the creativity in creating this design. It's almost like it's on a rocking horse, but it actually looks like a sword. It's got a sword in his hand and he's balancing on a sword. Very different Finland stamp. Interesting. That has to represent something. So if you know, share it with the rest of us. That would be nice. Okay, here's a 5M. Another 5 in green. And another 5 in black and white, greenish color. More towards the black than green, or deep, deep green. Okay, so the interesting one in this one is this one here, because of the edges, because it's just so different. Alright, hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more vintage postage stamps. If you know anything about any of these, please leave a comment. Bye-bye now. Okay, these stamps, there's only 6 of them, are part of a set. I have no idea where they're from. So if you know, be sure to just leave a comment and stuff, because they are, I don't know, I can't make up the words. It's like make, O, and then the R, the N and the R at the end is backwards. So I have no idea where these stamps are from, because I'm from Maine here. So if you know, please leave a comment and share with the rest of us. I'm suspecting probably Japan, or probably Japan, I'm not sure, but if you know, let me know. And let everybody else who'll be watching this video know. So here we have this one here. It's a 20. Very pretty. This one's a 25. This one's a 5. This one is a 10. This is also a 10, but in blue. And then we have a 1. Okay, so if you know anything about these stamps, be sure to leave it in a comment and share with the rest of us. Hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. And remember that stamps are a good investment, especially if you're in your 20s and 30s. Now's the time to collect, so when you retire, you'll have some good value in your postage stamps. All right, bye-bye now. These stamps are all Leary numbers. So we'll just show you what we have here. We have a 10. Small little stamp, isn't it? A 20. A 100. A 150. Small little stamps, ain't they? But look at that, a bugle in there. A 30. Here we have a 50. Almost looks like it's on a beautiful placemat. 100. A 20. A 50. A 10. Then we have a 500. A 25. A 50. A 40. A 200. And a 500. A 20. A 30. And another 100. So these are all just numbers with Leary. Very different stamps. Hope you've enjoyed viewing them. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. Bye-bye now. Okay, here we have some Martini Crick stamps. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Just a whole bunch of fruits, a nice table display. Alright, I found this one interesting out of them all. But let's check them all out. Okay, we start with, there's a 1. Shows you the whole village with the pine trees and everything. Pineapple trees. Looks like pineapple trees. I don't know what they are. Definitely tropical. Isn't that pretty? Even has the people and everything all in it. Okay, here we have another one. A 1C. Isn't that nice? This one here is just of a building. It's a 50. FR. Flat roof there. There's another one that's a 2 FR of the same building, only this one's blue. Okay, and then we get into these here. Let's focus that in a little bit better. There we go. Anika. 5C. And a 15 on the camel. And here's Our Lady again. 2C. Française. And there's my 5 that we showed you at the beginning. Here we have a 4C. Here's Our Lady again. This one's a 15. Française. And this one's a 5. Okay, now this one's the same as the first one. Only the first one was a 1. This is a 4 in green. The whole village and the trees. And this one's the same as those other buildings, only this one's on an orange paper, and this is 15. If I come across quite a few of them, really, that are printed on orange paper. I don't know if that's supposed to mean something. If you know, please leave a comment and fill the rest of us in. Always interesting to find out why. You know, it's always the whys that need to be answered. So this is one of them. Alright, that same building here. 30, FR. And this one in purple, which is a 5. Okay, so the interesting one was this one here, in green paper. So if you know anything about some of these, what year they may have been printed, please leave us a comment. We'd appreciate that. And know that stamp collecting is really good. I mean, look how centered this is. It's a good one. Good condition, unused. Those are the things you look for better value. And you know, you start collecting in your 20s, and collect the nice good old ones that you can find. It'll be a good investment for retirement. So, happy stamp collecting. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more stamps. Bye-bye now. Okay, here we have some more vintage postage stamps to show you from, I don't know if I can even pronounce that. Czechoslovakia. I don't know. So, anyhow, let's bring them all to you. Okay, let's start with this one here. Okay, this one is a 1P. Notice how the stamp is lined with black around the picture of the stamp, so that's really different to see. It's like they made a stamp and then they gave them a different frame than what we normally see. So here you go. Then this one here is a 2 with a red cross emblem on it. Again with the red cross emblem on it is a 50 pin. And it says, what, 1950, I believe? Yes. 1950. Okay, here we have a 30. Beautiful star. And here we have, .50, I believe. Well, this time they didn't give him a black frame. This one's white. Same man as the other one that gave the black frame. Okay, and here we have a 2D. Very nice. Look at the design on that. Okay, and here we have a 1. There you go, just working. 1 din. Okay, and this one here is just 0.75 of a boy. So if you know anything about some of these, go ahead and leave a comment. See how this one's perfectly centered, so it's a nice stamp. But of course I know nothing about the country or any of these. So if you do, leave a comment, inform the rest of us. Wow, look at that. All the different torches. 5 torches on there. The center of a star. 50 din. Poto. Here we have a 1D. And we go down here to a D3. And this one here, they all are working. This is a 3 din. What a beautiful one, isn't it? Nice stamp. A lot of detail, and it definitely tells a story. So if you know the story behind this stamp and why this stamp was made, please go ahead and leave us a comment and share with the rest of us. Very interesting. All the stamps have a reason why they were made, so it's nice to know the history. Okay, and here they are, a 10, picking the fruits from the tree. And one with the Red Cross sign on it. The little one in bed and the nurse helping. Here we have a 15, picking the sunflowers, flowers. 15 din. Oops, then down to this one here. 9 din. And this one, I think it is a -50D. Can't quite see. Okay. This one looks like a 0. Look at that one. Very different. Alright, and then this one is a 50. Nice countryside with the houses and everything. Very different. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. They are very different, all in their own ways. So if you know anything about some of these, be sure to share it with us. Alright, bye-bye now. Here we have some vintage stamps from Madagascar, Française. And let's start by showing you, I really like this one. The design and everything that's in this one is really kind of nice. But let's show you all that we have, starting with the 5-cent one. Look at that. Working in the fields. Very colorful and detailed. Beautifully framed. Nice picture. It's a 5-cent one. And right here, look at this one. This one's a pretty big stamp here. 40 Kong. The inside. Okay, and we have a 1. And we come down here to a 5C. Pretty, isn't it? Very creative design for this one. Really like it. It's pretty. And here we have a 2C. Very different, isn't it? have a 10. And a 4. Very, very different. See a lot of them like that, but just different colors. Here's a man on a horse for 50C. Look at that beautiful horse. Proud walking horse. Nice. Okay, and here is the same horse and stuff. Different color. On one, looks like an S. Very nice stamp. Okay, and then we have a 2C, showing you like a village. 2C RF. Then we have a 10C. And then a 1C, the one that I kind of liked. Alright, so if you know anything about some of these, maybe what year, just go ahead and leave us a comment. And sharing with everybody else who watches this video, it would definitely be appreciated. It's always good to learn a little bit about why this particular post stamp was made and a little story behind it. It's all part of education and learning of other cultures. So, if you have something to share, go ahead and share it. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more vintage and rare postage stamps. Bye-bye. Okay, today we're going to do some vintage postage stamps from the Netherlands. So we have a few really interesting ones to show you. I really like this one. This one's a nice one. Alright, so let's start right from the very beginning here. We have a 1. Look at that. Isn't that a nice one, huh? And right here we have a 12C. Then we have this one here, 25C. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I'll bring it up to you. There you go. A little bit better. That's so beautiful. Look at that. Look at all the design that goes right into that. That's a beautiful stamp. Okay. Then we have right here a 5-cent one. Then we have a 7.5-cent one. Alright, look at this Netherlands one. It's 1.5C. A military man with his gun and everything. And of course the one we started with, the 5C, that I really enjoyed. Nice ship. Very good. Then we have a 20C. And over here we have a 10. And this one here is a 3C. Very nice. And this one here is a 1898 to 1948 10C. Oh, we got a real bad wind outside there. Here's a 12.5C. It's like C with a T and a dot underneath. Very pretty one. And this one here, look at this. 1937, 1.5C. That's a really different one, isn't it? Isn't it nice to look at postage stamps, especially the old vintage ones? Okay, and there's a 2 cent Netherlands one. Whole bunch of design in that. Very different for sure. Then we have a 7.5C. And the same man here. This nice mustache here with a 10C. And we go down to this one here, and we have a 7.5C. A 1.5 cents. Cent, not cents, cent. Then we have a 10C. Then it has a +5 on there. Bunch of kids playing with the cat and books. Cute. And this one was kind of cute too. This is a 10 cent CT. 1874 to 1949. Look at that. Very beautiful, very colorful. Different shades. And then a 1C. Okay, so I think the most interesting, well, this one's very interesting, but I think maybe this one right here is my most interesting one out of this video. So if you know anything about some of these postage stamps, maybe the year of some of these, go ahead and leave it in a comment. You see, nicely centered always works out better if you're a collector. Unused, always better. In good mint condition was always the perfect thing to have. And a lot of people are starting to invest in postage stamps for the future. So if that's what you plan on doing, take a good look at all the videos I have. Alright, and be sure to share with others who are interested in maybe just looking at the pictures, because there's a lot of history in just the pictures and stuff. They tell you a story. Alright, bye-bye now. Today we have stamps, vintage stamps from Luxembourg. Okay, and these 4 right here were in a special package. Look at that, it's a 1. This one's a 2. This one's a 5. And this one's a 10. If you notice, they're all the same design. Some, like the green one right there, is perfectly centered. And these were all together in a special little card, so I don't know if that means that the value is different for these. It's definitely a beautiful set. So if you got pieces missing, and these are some of them, let me know. Alright, so let's start off by showing you what we do have. This one's a 10. Beautiful picture. Look at that. All that floral design around to make the frame. Grand Dutch. It's another Grand Dutch. This one's a 25 in blue. Okay, and this gentleman here in 10. Look at that. Isn't that beautifully designed? I love all the creativity and the design of some of these stamps. They're so beautiful. Okay, and here we have a 2F. She is with the crown in the corner. There's another one. This one's a 25 in blue with the crown in the corner. And she's looking sideways. And of course the 4 stamps that I just brought to you. The 10, the 5, the 2, and the 1. And then we have the Grand Dutch in 15, black and white. And this one here, 75C. And we have this one here, very different, 250F, organization. Okay, this one here is a 5-cent one, with a sideward view in green. And then we have a 10C. Wow, very pretty. Love the necklace on that one, huh? Alright, here we have a 2. And a 5. And we go down to a 5C. Very pretty design. Okay, and a 25C. Ooh, look at this one. The lion with his tongue sticking right out, and it's got a crown on. And that's a 1F20. Wow, look at the hair on him too. That's a very different stamp. Very different. And then a 35C. And then a 10C. Okay, so the interesting ones are these guys here in the set of 4. So I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these videos to you of all these different postage stamps that I've been bringing. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend. Feel free to comment on some of the beautiful postage stamp you've seen. And if you know of other collectors, be sure to send it to them. Spread it around, let people see. I mean, there's a lot of creativity in the design of some of these, and they're just beautiful to look at. Alright, bye-bye now.